What is a myth? Do you hear me?
It's a transition. Welcome in, everybody. How are y'all doing? This is hump day. This is hump day. Appreciate the voice. Like somebody heard the voice of Big Gas, like, oh, Rev's not better yet. Technically, true statement, but I do think I'm a little bit better today. Hopefully, y'all can let me know in the comment section. Welcome in, though. As always, glad that y'all are here. We're going to be doing some Star Trek talking today. My goal, and this is something that I've already brought to a couple people at Scopely. My goal is probably going to be, and look, I try to pick up new fights all the time, and I think maybe fights isn't the right word, but for those that maybe you're new, I tend to pick up projects of Star Trek Fleet Command that I want to push really heavy, that I just feel like the game really needs. One of those last year was, and honestly going back a little bit before last year, Bolus Refinery being permanent. We ended up getting that, and Eco did a great job helping push for that, so big thank you for that. The economy overall getting better, which has happened to some degree. But I think this year, or at least starting here in May, one thing that I'm really going to be pushing hard for is to get a lot of these primes, both the new ones and even older ones, free-to-play path, some type of long-form path. So what I'm kind of doing today is, one, we're going to do some gameplay together. Obviously, we're going to answer any game questions y'all have. But as we get more and more people in, the idea is to get an idea of what y'all have, or y'all's ideas for how we can actually make some of these better. What's fair for everybody in terms of these primes, and what's fair for getting everybody some type of access to them. Because I think that, there has to be a balance. We can't just say, oh, we should be able to grind all primes in like 6 months. Because then what's the point of them being there for sale? There does need to be an incentive for spenders and advantage for short term. But I also think that we got away from a pattern that was kind of like a promise in an existence, that we were going to have primes become free to play available at some point. And the last primes that became available free to play, really were the territory ones with the addition of the treasury. So the goal has always been long term. As newer things come out, older primes become free to playable, and I think that path has gotten lost a little bit. So I'm really going to try to pound the pavement and see if I can talk to enough people and get them to not necessarily agree, because I do think overall most people in Star Trek Fleet Command would agree, like actually at Scopely would agree that that's what should happen. But to actually get that ball rolling and get that back in place as a standard, and just to reuse a buzzword that I've been, not even just me, that DJ and I have been hitting on for a long time. But welcome in, everybody. Good to see you, Miss Lisa. Always amazing to see you. Ordrin, good to see you. Demon, Eric, Admiral Pegasus, another one of our CCs. Sasquatch, love to see you, man. How are you doing? You please drive safe, my friend. Eddie, good to see you. Pokey, David, Tiberius, all of y'all, absolutely fantastic to see you, and hope that you're doing really well today. So yeah, let's just jump straight into everything. Sound like the Scopely voice saying buy more packs? Art like it was. So I've got a special button here that if you close your eyes, because I don't have the mask, I've actually lost the charger to the mask. It needs to be charged.
But I can turn on the big S voice with this cool button right here. And this is the voice I use to make sure that you know you should be spending money. Buy packs. Buy packs. This voice tells you to buy packs.
And this voice tries to give you the best path to play, regardless of if it's buying a pack or not. So, Mr. MD says solos only counting 1 ship's damage makes for a garbage event. Same thing as last time, Mr. MD. It hasn't gotten changed or fixed. That'll probably be something that doesn't get fixed until after this arc ends. Just a FYI. If you want to do the Armada event like we taught y'all last time, if y'all want to dominate the Armada event, the meta, the most effective tactic available to you is expansion cubes. I'm not saying I like expansion cubes. What I am saying is if you really want to score a butt ton of points on the attack pattern alpha omega soul leaderboard for armadas, go do expansion cubes. That's the way. If that's what you want to do, as in you want to score crazy high points, that's what you need to be hitting. So just a FYI. Adam says add a daily drip of the prime currency to the treasury like the one already, but we have to choose which currency to collect every day. So Adam personally strongly dislike that idea because I think you've already got, and look, I do love, and actually I just collected it, so I can't pull it up because I don't have Ripper Shenanigans installed. But the optical diodes at level 40 plus treasury does provide prime particles 8 a day. So right at a little bit more than a year, you'll get all the primes in the treasury for free. My issue with combining those is you're diluting it a little bit too much. I'm okay with it taking over a year to get 3 primes, but I'm not okay if we turn that into several different primes now. I just feel like that's diluting that process a little bit too much. And I don't even think it's worth shooting the Scopely because that ends up hurting players long term. Because one, you're limiting it to 40 plus already. And then beyond that, you would be really slowing down player progression. Like, even though I'm big on camping and things like that, I think that hurts more than it helps. It has to be something balanced. And if you've already set a precedent where you can grind, for example, this prime in 135 days, and I will say that value-wise, these new primes are more valuable and they do have 10 tiers. I think that, full grinding those shouldn't take, or shouldn't be added to that because I think it really hurts the overall idea. But we will, again, ideas are welcome. Actually, the idea that I'm pitching or trying to pitch, and I'm talking to anybody at Scopely who will listen about it. I'm talking to game design. I'm going to talk to the ops team. Anybody who will listen to my argument over the next month, I'm going to be just really beating it hard, beating that drum that we need a free-to-play path for the new ones specifically. But I'm not going to try to argue that you should have all 10 levels of this new prime done in a year. I'm honestly not. I'm arguing more for these 2 primes total maybe take 2 years to grind out. But I think that's also, keep in mind that you can't take these super high anyway because there's a level lock to them. If you weren't aware, if you haven't gone after these primes, there are level locks. So you can't actually get all this maxed out unless you're level 56 anyway. So I think for me at level 46, my maximum is tier 7, I think. I think tier 7 is the highest I could go if I was to invest into it. You got to be 56 to max it out anyway. So either way, I think if you have a longer drip, but that's okay because these primes already have a scale anyway, putting it in for 2 years, most players are probably going to be hitting 56, 57 within 2 years, but it's going to take more than a year for most people. The highest free to play in the game is still, there's 2 people who are 50 plus now. Dekix is 1, and I'm pretty sure he is not 53 yet, but heading to 53. And I can go and check into that. Let me just double check. He usually has it sitting as his logo, whatever level he currently is. But I think it's somewhere in that range. Scott says, I love these primes. I wasn't going to go G5, but now it's obtainable. I hate these primes with a fiery passion. I think they are extremely bad for the game unless some type of free-to-play path comes, Scott. I will not deny how good they are, and I didn't do that in my video. I showed you how good they are and how they apply to you. But these are horrible for the game unless a path gets added. So that's one of the reasons I'm using this. I'm taking up this mantle. It's going to be very important to me to really fight for this and get Scopely to admit this is something that we need to add to the game. Now, I will say base, I hate the idea of leveled primes. I hate the idea of these scaling systems. I get why they do it, monetary, but if it has some type of path for everybody, that makes it a little bit better. And I'm okay with paths. I think paths are good. So sorry, y'all, I'm getting a little bit distracted. I need to build some of these buildings here in the background. I've got my mess hall going to 47. I've been really studious with make sure it gets upgraded, and also got to upgrade my armory over here. All these little bonuses add up, so I'm looking forward to it. But we could also talk about, like, if we wanted to really push this, I think since it came out, and I know people are probably going to disagree with this a little bit, but again, you have to think of it from Scopely's side. They're not just going to give things away. I think another way to add in this type of token is to give it as a, included in your rewards for the artifact gallery. There's already a building token in there that you get every time you redeem. Same idea, put it into the redeem here. That way every 3 days you're averaging maybe 20, 30 of those dolomite particles, which will get you the early ones in pretty quickly, but it will also make a very long-term drip for the bigger levels, which, 1800 per. So, any news and freebooters being included in the faction dailies? No. Well, they are included in the faction dailies. They don't currently count for faction allegiance or the hostile harbingers. So this one right here, this one right here, or where they don't count, but they do count for your faction dailies. If you've done the research, obviously, you got to do the sweeps research. They do count for, like if I don't worry about hostile harbinger and faction hunter, or faction allegiance, I complete my dailies. So Scott, thank you so much. It says buy yourself a cup of coffee to help you swallow that bitter pill. It's not even being bitter, Scott, because there are more high level players who have quit the game over this than any issue in the past 6 months. So we had a couple of our higher levels on, the last show, and one of them, this invalidated $18,000 worth of purchases they've made in the past few months. These new primes did. So it's not about being bitter. It's about there being balance in the game. And there's not right now. And there's not just this, by the way. This is the research equivalent of strike teams. It really is. And I think most people, including people I've talked to in Scopely, will say the way that strike teams rolled out and what they ended up being was a mistake. By the way, Scott, I appreciate $5. It does help out my family. Thank you very much. I don't drink coffee though. That's not really my thing. I did drink a cup of coffee this morning to try to get like a little kickstart, but that's only because my addicted butt is out of I'm out of Diet Coke. But I did have my Be Authentically You mug, which I'm really big on mental health. That way, hey, if you do agree with Star Trek Fleet Command, you like it, I don't care. If it gives you positive mental health, go for it. Yeah, it's just more about there being balance in the game and not short-sighting that balance by having short-sighted decisions that, yes, are monetary based. And I do believe this game needs to make money and deserves to make money. But at the same time, if you're costing yourself money down the road long-term, you might want to think about some of those decisions. So we've been asking for bold. Is this not bold? There's bold and then there's stupid. Like, you can be boldly ignorant. And it's very obvious by the backlash from both free-to-play and high-level spenders that this is not bold, this is just stupid. But that doesn't mean that stupid can't be fixed. We've helped give feedback to fix stupid decisions in the past. It's not about being bold, it's about breaking the game in a way that doesn't benefit, again, not even just spenders, but the entire game itself. And I think that's kind of a big issue here. It's not just the price tag. It's not just the invalidation of other people's purchases over the past couple months. Even DJ was on his stream last night talking about how this month he bought the Prime that came out 2 months ago or 6 weeks ago, and that's already been a diluted, worthless purchase now. So it just goes down to the same thing with Strike Team. Does Strike Team work? Yes. Did Strike Team break PvP? Yes. Strike Team's also very bold, but it was also done very poorly because it did not provide balance to the game. That's kind of what I'm getting at. I'm not saying that it wasn't a bold move, and I'm not saying it doesn't help, but you created a problem. The problem is the economy is too lopsided, too difficult, too ridiculous. You don't fix that problem with a ridiculously priced Prime. That's not fixing the problem. That's not being bold. That's just making money. And again, I think they should make money. But how do you fix this? The easiest way is to provide a free-to-play path for this long term. And that's why I'm kind of really fighting for this. Now, if I'm stupid in that idea and y'all think that I shouldn't bother with it, maybe I won't. But I really feel strongly that most people do want me and other content creators and moderators and VIPs to bother about this. I feel like most of the game would definitely prefer that we have that, even if that path is a long-term path. And that's fine. Again, I'm not trying to like go to Scopely and be like, hey, you idiots, we should get these primes in 3 months. I'm not. You know, that's not what I'm going to argue for. But I am going to argue that there needs to be a point where these primes, including some of the older ones, get this, you know, free-to-play path really locked down, because that was the original plan anyway for primes when they came out. Lightbull says, why does the Scopely do regular balance changes to them? Maintaining game balance is a process and needs constant adjustment. We very rarely see buffing, nerfing of officers. Well, they're never going to nerf anything. They've made that very clear. Their style is they're not going to nerf something. Now, from a business perspective, the reason you don't nerf something is if you nerf it, then that gives that individual a right to refund it. And we don't like refunds around here, which is understandable. But nerfing also, generally, if you're going to fix something, you buff it. And they do buff it if there's an extreme issue. So I don't want to make it sound like I'm just dumping on Scopely and telling lies. Now, for example, you know, the 50 epics got a buff because they were specifically so bad. Now, do I agree with how they buffed the 50 epics? Personally, no. I don't feel like the method they went to buff the epics was an effective one. Basically, instead of fixing like the Enterprise A's horrible shipability or, you know, really helping the Hector, all they did was boost the base stats, which was a good temporary band-aid, but it's also one of the reasons the Enterprise A is not super great now, you know, with 6-star or with 5-star out, versus the Tribune, which with Strike Team is still damn good. So wouldn't a free-to-play pass still invalidate high spenders prior purchases? Not if it was based on a time scale. It's the same reason that you scrapping a ship does not invalidate somebody who bought prime officers. That doesn't invalidate anything, because there's an acceptable time that passes where we understand that the economy in the game changes, and spenders understand this concept. Every spender I've talked to understands that. It's a problem when something you did 60 days ago was invalidated. It's not a problem if something you did 6 to 12 months ago was invalidated. It's not even invalidated. You simply get more, because the same thing we're talking about, spenders especially, they're going to have more research that comes out that helps. It's the idea of spending should be pay to progress faster. It's not pay to get something and then nobody else ever gets it. That's never supposedly the goal. The goal is pay to progress quicker. So there's an understanding that as a spender in these type of games, what you're doing is simply getting a jump start on everybody. You're avoiding grind and you're paying for it now. The idea is never supposed to have been that you pay and get a permanent advantage that nobody else has. And Scopely's even said that's never been the idea. They're just really bad sometimes about following up on doing things that they said they were going to do. That's more the issue. So it doesn't invalidate something if it takes me 2 years to grind out the primes that you paid $1,200 for. Why? Because you had that advantage for a year, 2 years. It's the same thing with the Treasury primes. You know, the primes that came out with territory. The people who invested in those had them for well over a year before anybody even had a free-to-play path for them. So it didn't invalidate them that it came out. You know, there you have it. I think that's a great example. Andrew, thank you so much for supporting. Time flies when you're having fun. Appreciate it. Intimidator, you're amazing. Rev, would you swap out a tier 3 Lorca for tier 1 Bashir with Cisco cap miles on the side? I do believe that you need hull breach, but I still like using Cisco, and I like using Bashir, but I always put them on separate ships. I don't put them on the same ship because I'm running critical builds. So, but anyway, this is why I'm looking for the drip, and Pokey brings up the territory prime drip. That's kind of what I'm using for the basis of my example and argument when I'm going to them, or that's my current plan. If y'all have a better plan, I'm here to write that, you know, write those notes down. But my current plan is to go and say, hey, look at how we have with the territory. What way can we find to add some type of daily drip? And I think one way that you want to talk about not invalidating a spender's purchase is the same way you did with the territory. You put it to a 40+ setting where you can start grinding out these primes. And I know some people aren't going to like that, but again, you do want to make sure that you give value to the early spenders in this. You know, whether it's 35 plus, 38 plus, 40 plus, because you can start getting these in the low 20s. The first level you get this prime is 28. It's 28, 30, 32, 34, 41, 42, 46, 50, 53, then 56 are the 10 levels that you have to be at the various levels. So even if it was in the mid 30s, you added something that was some type of drip, that is not invalidating. That's just giving a little bit of an advantage to early spending and still giving people the ability to grind for it later. So I think there's a balance to be found there that ends up making the average players happy, but by still keeping everybody else happy. Donald says, please shave. Donald, most people tell me not to. So sorry that you don't like the beard. Hell, I don't even love the beard, but a vast majority of the viewers have told me to keep it. So we're keeping it for now. We'll see how long I can put up with it. So, level 46, totally free to play here. The mechanic is already there. Scopely should introduce something similar to what they have in the treasury pool every day for those prime credits. Plenty of options. And I agree with you, Tim. And look, I completely understand that for this game to succeed, you need to have spenders and they need to make their money. And I'm not trying to stop that. But you also need the free to play. You also need the medium spenders, etc. So you have to give them the ability to keep up and catch up. And that's kind of what the idea is here. Just keep up and catch up. More spinners were gained than lost with the release of these new primes. To what I am privy to, that's not the case, Matt. The VIP area, which remember there is a special VIP area for high-level spenders, is absolutely livid for the most part. Are there people who enjoy these primes? Certainly. Are there more people who are infuriated by this? In my experience, yes. There are far more who are mad about it. And I'm not talking about just like free to play. I'm talking about 60s and 58s and 56s who are very upset with this move for multiple reasons. And I think this is the way to help cure that for everybody. David says, what about a prime store that has all the unique currencies that we can use to go after the primes we want instead of these random drips? That gives the play some choice. Use a drip currency. The only problem with that is you have way too many things that already exist that have unique currencies. So that'd be cool for the future, but that doesn't help any of our current problems. So Matt says your audience are also those that have fully built radars. My audience isn't the VIP room. I can tell you that. And yet I can still go to those rooms and see what the reaction is. So, keep in mind that just because I'm not basing all my thoughts off people who come to the streams and people who watch the videos. It's also people who don't, and it's a privilege to have access to that I do. But we're not just talking about people on the stream going crazy. We're talking about people who don't even like Rev Deuce content in the VIP area who are irate, very agitated with these paths. So had a fully built Vidar a long time before ready to stream on it. There you go, Olympia. Thank you, Olympia. Thank you. And man, we were all shocked by that number. Myself, DJ, everybody. But still, I don't think that changes that it's very easy to see how aggravated everybody is. Just to give you another example, look at the official Discord. The official Discord had one of its lowest activity ratings the lowest this entire year after these dropped because everybody was so frustrated. The only feedback was anger, and then people just dropped. Like, they're just, screw it, we're tired, we're not dealing with this anymore. If that's the reaction, then you do have to look at that as a game and say, okay, what do we do to get away from that? So what I don't like is that they framed it as listening to our feedback. Exactly, Sean. And that's another issue I have. And I don't think there's any shortages of me having issues with these primes, but one of the other issues that I have, and we've discussed this in my Discord, DJ's Discord, is that you can't create a problem, i.e. overpriced, ridiculous economy, and then fix it with a paid option. That's not fixing a problem. That's creating a problem and providing a paid opportunity to bypass the problem. That's not a real fix. That's not actually making the economy great. So it's, again, my goal is to find the balance here. And the balance isn't just giving it away to free to play, but the balance is also not having this ridiculous feature that will make it basically impossible for you to go to 6-star when it comes out without these. You really won't be able to. There's just no way I can see it being feasible that you get into G6 without these primes. You just won't be able to afford it. So, afternoon, heading out for a cruise tomorrow. Congrats, Lucian. I hope you enjoy yourself. We'll miss completing Battle Pass in 2 to 3. We'll miss completing Battle Pass for the first time in 2 or 3 years, but not sad about it. Yeah. Go for it, man. Look, if you're getting to go on a cruise and have food and enjoy yourself, you should not feel bad about missing a Battle Pass. You go have an amazing time, whether it's a 3-day, 5-day, 7-day cruise or whatever. I hope you have a fantastic time. I really do. Oh man. Put the prime particles in the multiphasic store. I don't see how that fixes anything, Heath. I don't see how that fixes anything. Because you can't put multiphasics in regular events and stuff. Multiphasics are unique. Did I get your PM on Discord? I mean, maybe. I don't think I see one right now from somebody named Satrock. So I'm going to say no, but maybe. But yeah, that's an Exila store specific thing. Maybe create new artifacts to give out prime particles as you level them up. That sounds really convoluted, Wolfwood. I'm not saying it's not an idea, but that seems overly complicated. Why not just have it as a drop? If you want to use the artifact building, then why not just have it as a drop when you redeem every 3 days? Any chance we can't talk about bribes on today's event? How do we complete those? I mean, I'll be honest, Tamoya, I haven't even looked at today's event. So, ticket events. Is that the same one? Yeah, it's the same one. It's sticking around because of the stupid timer. But they can't reset it, so. Yes, I sent another one. Cool. I'll take a look at it after the stream. That's not there. The lat refinery. Oh, those old bribes? Oh, okay. That's down here, isn't it? Yeah, right there. Bam. There's your bribes. This event's running right now? Really? We haven't seen this event in a while, have we? That's been a minute. Where's that under? Is that under gathering intel? Yep. All right, yeah, we haven't done that in forever. That's a good recall event. I have to talk to the Arc Runner. I haven't seen that one in a minute. Yeah, that's probably been over a year since I've seen that come through. So shout out to the Arc Runner for like revitalizing, unique old content. And I don't have enough to do that. And honestly, I probably won't because I'm not going to go buy and concentrate Latinum. If I manage to find somebody OPC, maybe I'll do it that way. But yeah, they're your bribes. They're your bribes. That's not an event that I typically pay attention to. So sorry about that, y'all. Multiphase are the Alliance reward for the web exclusive. Yeah, correct, Jane. So anything that is PC Store, Mac, or web, they can put multiphasics in. But I'm pretty sure they can't do it outside of that. They can't do it outside of that. So a little bit of a limitation there. But that limitation is, remember, multiphasics are created because it prevents them getting in trouble with Google and Apple for Exila having a far slimmer profit margin. So that way the dollars to loot is equal, relatively speaking. So that's how they're able to, do that and not get in trouble with Google, Apple. And that's also why they're probably not going to be able to give multiphasics away in anything but the web store /PC/Mac. Bashir works for all solo armadas, Mihai. Bashir works for all solo armadas. Have you heard anything for sourcing for the Fisha glass skin? Nope, have not. I'll be honest, I've personally never inquired about it. So, how do you use the bribes? Go into Latinum and refine your bribes, and it'll score in the event. Go into your Latinum refinery, turn in your bribes, like do the refine for them, and that will score you for the event. As new level 35, would you do a quick explanation of the Bajoran faction and how to best start it? I have a whole video about that if you haven't checked it out yet, Miki. Short answer is you have a limited run kind of in Bajor. It's not, sorry, I hear my son kind of going off in his room. I need to make sure everything's okay. But make sure he's cool. But anyway, sorry, I got distracted. As far as the Bajoran faction goes, you just start doing the grind and turning it in terms of, when I mean turn it in, you do your Jem'Hadar grinds, you get your rep in and just convert it for the particles. Hey, Romy, sorry about the distraction. You hear your son slamming doors outside. Hit you. But like if you can't afford those new primes, you're gonna get left behind. Exactly, Andrew, which is one of the reasons that I'm really, really, really harping on trying to get this free-to-play path, even though I understand that it'll be a long-term sourcing, and I'm okay with long-term sourcing. But the key is sourcing, right? Will the export store be an option for those primes? I don't know if the export store is a good place to fit it, to be honest with you. Could it be an option? Sure. It would definitely probably frustrate some people that we would use the export store, which most of us agree is a fantastic addition to the game with some fantastic research, because that would significantly slow down your ability to progress through that store. And you can see this is where I'm currently at, but would significantly slow down, which by the way, there is another prime in here that takes dolomite particles. So it's not just those two new ones we're talking about. There are actually two other primes that have come out that take the dolomite particle. So yeah, what was there's a defiant one, I think. No, not that one. Was there a defiant one that takes it? I'm trying to remember. I know that one that we just looked at does. I think there's one more. This one? Yeah, prime defiant ability efficiency also takes the dolomite particle. So just a little friendly FYI there if you didn't know. So I think that you could, and that, they do have one of those researches in that tree. My probably only issue with that would be it's going to make sourcing those other research more difficult, because obviously you're going to want to focus on the new dolomite particle. So you'd be using your export to turn in for that as much as possible. But if they want to make it a gameplay loot, they could add an option to redeem edicts for prime particles in the Bajoran store. Again, there's another option. I think the difficult thing would be relative sourcing path. So if they did it, however they did it, it would have to be something that isn't quickly sourced. So I think just in fairness to the value of what these primes are, it couldn't be something that you could source in 6 months. Doesn't mean that you have a ridiculously slow drip, but I do think that you'd have to find a balance in time to even get this off the ground. Wondering why my level 42 account can see the $5 pack from the new primes. My level 46 account cannot. Does your 40, you're supposed to, quote unquote, supposed to, 41 and up was going to see the $100 pack, but there's also a piece of this that is based kind of like how the treasury is, where kind of like reads your pack purchases and stuff. And we'll show you the $5 one if you're a little bit low, from what we were told from the Arc Runner. But K92 says, you know what's next? 10 level primes for building efficiency. Probably. Honestly, K92 probably, which is, again, another reason why these dolomite particles need to have a free-to-play path. Exactly what you're saying. That's why they need to have a path. Because they're clearly using this. Like, I also would say, and y'all write this down, you will be shocked if this is the last time you see a dolomite particle too, because this is month 1 of Voyager. Usually when they design an arc and features, they usually design, if they're going to make primes, those particles are probably going to last throughout. So I won't be shocked at all if you see the dolomite particles pop up again next month for something else. So with that said, it's a great opportunity to really push for these free-to-play paths. So let's just say we end up with, because we've already got 4. Let's just say we end up with 7 new primes that all take dolomite. All right, well, now we can start talking about, okay, we got these 7 primes. Here's the total cost, how much dolomite we would actually need to max these out. Now I'll start talking about a drip to make this work. Ordering says, I personally think they should add daily refines for them for an Actian Borg / Rogue faction, but it should be a low amount from each, but will be scaled for ops progress in those loops. Yeah, that's basically my idea. That's kind of where I'm going for. Now you're doing it in the faction. I'm okay with throwing it like tied to a building, but either way, we're in the same accord right there in terms of what we're thinking and where we're going. We're having some dolomite in the elite battle pass. So Lucia, I'm fine with that, but putting dolomite in the elite battle pass doesn't fix the problem. The problem is it's still stuck behind a paywall, and it doesn't allow anybody else to catch up on what is game breaking and game altering tech. Exactly what it is. These researches are game altering. Just your experience. I mean, y'all talk about, the scrapyard and this makes the scrapyard significantly better. Does it change the scrapping speeds? No. Does it change how much you can scrap? No. Does it change how fast you can scrap? No. But it does make the investment of everything you're scrapping far less. Like, it's a hell of a lot cheaper to max those ships out and then get the same rewards for them. So it greatly imbalances scrapping, which is already a great mechanic, and we love scrapping. So again, I have no issue with them being in the Elite Battle Pass, but does that fix the problem we're talking about? No, that doesn't fix the problem. It doesn't fix the problem. And he says Voyager, the ship itself, could have a refinery that allows daily drip. Whatever we end up doing, and again, my goal is to get this out as quickly as possible. If you remember, we had something similar happen. God, a year ago now, where we had a couple pieces of content come out completely paywalled. We argued with Scopely, and then a free-to-play path came for them, and it was a long path. It took a long time to make it happen, but we ended up getting that happening. They've listened multiple times, and again, when it comes to like saying Scopely listening, it's more of just reminding them of what they promised to do, because it's not. I have found personally that it's not like everybody in game design is just trying to screw you. It's just that things get left behind that shouldn't be left behind. And it's not how it should be, but that's what happens. So, dump the Dolomite in the treasury. I think the Dolomite could go in the treasury. That I'm nothing against that. Probably the only argument against that is going to be the fact that you've already got the prime particle there. But again, I think that's completely fine. You've already got multiple buildings. I don't care if you put it in the mess hall. I don't care if you put it in the artifact gallery. I don't care if you put it in the Bajoran faction store. It does need to go somewhere though. So it doesn't need to be somewhere. There's 3 more building slots, so one could be sourced to them. Possibly Kelsey. Very possible. We'll have to wait and see what that looks like, but it's possible. Folks says, I'm not 100% free to play, but I refuse to pay into this prime. It's crazy expensive and not the path I want the game to take. That's also, and I talked about this in my video, it's when we talk about the precedent that this type of prime sets, if it has no long-term path, it's a really bad precedent. And I don't know if everybody agrees with this or not, but I think most of us would probably argue that not only for price reasons, but also for game health, you should not have 10 level scaling primes that are completely locked behind a paywall. I don't think that is a good design. I think that's bad design. Maybe people disagree. What is BLT? That is a bacon, lettuce, tomato sandwich. Not really my cup of tea, but I'm sure there's plenty of people in chat who like a BLT. Not really for me, though. He says, new hostile coming in a whole new space, only killable with Voyager, that will not be offered free to play for over a year. Don't see that happening, my friend. Don't see that happen. So, you're not going to have Voyager take over a year to get free to play sourced. No ship comes in that freaking awful. Except, I guess, technically, no, you can't even say the Meridian because it has an event store. But no ship's that awful. BLT is Taurus's ex-boyfriend's nickname for her. Cool Voyager reference. Cool Voyager reference. Except the Mantis. Well, see, the problem is the Mantis has sourcing. The event just isn't running because the event sucks. The Mantis had immediate sourcing when it was made. The sourcing for the Mantis was always designed to be with incursions. Problem is, incursions hasn't ever been good, so it stopped running. So the Mantis, I can't say is not a free-to-play path ship because it has a path. It's just a sucky path tied to a sucky event that they keep promise is going to be better. And I will say that they did fix all the mechanical problems with incursions. We tested that earlier this month. We need to actually see, do they improve the rewards? Do they make it something that people actually want to participate in? That is still to be seen. Mantis has also been nerfed due to Tau. I don't think the Mantis has not been nerfed. Tau did not nerf the Mantis. Tau made the Mantis grind easier if you had a lower tier Mantis, but a high tier Mantis will return to being the primary grind ship. And 2, the whole Mantis loop still perfectly works, like in terms of using the Mantis Sting. Like if you want to Rialta burn a ship, like you want to spam Ordrin, who's a whale, with your Rialta, and you want to burn him 1% per attack, use your Mantis, sting him, and then spam him with Rialtas and burning. There is a legitimate use for the Mantis in the game. Sure, it's niche, which is a problem that we have with a lot of special ships, but Tau did not come in and now there's no use at all for the Mantis. Tau just made the hostile grinding for the Mantis basically between tiers 5 and 9 easy to do. Easy to do. Big difference there. Big difference there. So Let's put the new prime loot behind Assault's Ordrin. I'm mad at myself for even reading that comment. You should be ashamed for making the comment. That's ridiculous. That, sir, is how dare you? That's insulting. I love you, Ordrin. You're a great person. But right now, you're a bad person. Never say that again. Never say that again. You need to sit in timeout. I wish I had a timeout chair to put Ordrin in right now. Somebody put Ordrin in timeout. Just told peeps to Rialto burn me. I had to make a bad joke. I mean, look, I'm a firm believer that everybody should have a way to fight back. If you want to fight back, if there's like, let's be realistic. I'm on a server that has tons of 60s. Remember, I'm 65 million power. That's stronger than anybody on server 109, but it's like rank 200 on server 20. For me to fight back, I have to find ways that I can fight back. You know how I can fight back? I can Rialto burn you. And that 1% damage I do to you is going to cost you in repair more than it would cost for me to hit you with a pylon. What I would, one, inflict on you, and two, my own repair cost for a pylon. So you have to find little victories. You know, some high levels don't care if you burn away their titanium, but I care. And if I want to take a small victory, then it's fun for me. So everybody has something that they like. And to me, that's my little small victory. It makes me feel better. You just took your manas to tier 8 and the refinery scaling is awful. It is, Vic. Refinery scaling is terrible. But you do want to now, because it's easier with Tau, continue to scale that up because you want to get more of your turn in for the Syndicate XP. It's just worth it for the Syndicate XP alone. You want to continue to grow that, and so you can take your Syndicate higher and higher and higher. So Scope needs to change those expansion armadas so dumb have to do one to get boosted to the other. Armadas are now more work than it needs to be already. Well, that's why I don't do expansion cubes. Even though expansion cubes are the way to dominate the current armada event, I just don't do them, which is fine. That means I'll never get Boar Queen unless she's in an event store, and I'm okay with that. I love formation armadas. I love solo armadas. But I don't do expansion cubes. That means I'm taking a choice to miss out. Do I think that they're going to go change that mechanic? I don't. I don't. Folks, thank you for the $5 supporting the channel. Did you watch the new Strange New World Season 2 trailer? I did not. If you remind me, we can watch it together tonight on Twitch. We usually watch that stuff on Twitch because YouTube will copyright strike us. So if y'all want to come to Twitch tonight, we'll watch that. We did watch, Picard's trailer before it was coming out and everything. So if y'all like that type of content, join us tonight. How to get more directives for formation armadas? Your 4th milestone every day pays out 15. So real quick, let me just add, formation armada sourcing is terrible. But this milestone right here, this 4th one, will pay you out every day, will pay out 15. It's terrible. You get like 1 a week. It's pretty awful. But that's your current sourcing. And again, that's another thing that we're adding into the please source this better list. And don't worry, that feedback has definitely been passed along. It's definitely been passed along. You don't like the 4-man? I love the 4-man aspect. Just me. But again, it takes your alliance coordinating. If you did more than 4, the armadas would need to be significantly stronger than they are. If you did 5 or 6 people, they'd be way too easy. Can you whale your way out of timeout? Sure, Ordrin. You know my Cash App. You want to whale yourself out of timeout? You go for it, sir. Everybody's got a price. Everybody's got a price. If you want to pay bail, you can go post bail. You can go post bail. Let me know. If you're attending a wedding, but I'll watch for replay if it's available on Twitch. I do provide my Twitch VODs up for replay if y'all ever want to watch them after the fact. But yeah, there's some content that I can only do on other platforms just because YouTube is so strict about that. So it was interesting to do server first, expansion cube last night, then get wrecked by the 55. Yeah, fair. That's fair, Forgotten. That's fair. And Ordrin, yep, Ordrin, thank you so much. Ordrin has now posted bail. Thank you for supporting my family. I really do appreciate it. Let me put it on the screen because we do like to keep track of everybody who donates so that y'all can get the recognition y'all deserve for being very helpful to people like myself because content creators can't make it. And if you want support, pick you up. Something simple. Something simple as a mug. Pick you up a mug. Pick you up a t-shirt at the merch store or just donate directly. All of it helps out. It's not required. I'll never ask any of y'all to pay me. Like, I'm never going to come to say, hey, you got to pay me $50 to make me do something. You know, I have done one-on-one help with people. Some people donate, some people don't. Either way, I'm here for the players. But if you want to donate, it does help out tremendously. And thank you to those who do. Wish there was a better interface for joining armadas, especially with the chat bug and lost messages. Mestry, this is something that I've been really trying to push to them more because we are doing more armadas. So yes, I hear you, and we'll continue to try to do that. When you know the town hall, are you talking about the state of the game? Or are you talking about a town hall like if I host it with myself, DJ, and other content creators? You still recommend soft camping at 29? If you do, have anything to add? So in the basic terms, I do. Here's the biggest reason for my camping methodology. The biggest reason is to make sure that you don't progress without hitting certain milestones. For example, you may not be aware of this, but once you get into the 30s, your officers, for example, just the packs that are available, your turn-ins, your recruits, get saturated with even more officers. It's like if you haven't gotten Chin Max and you haven't unlocked Pike, you know, it becomes even more difficult to do it in the 30s because of oversaturation in your premiums and your ultras and stuff. So that's just one example of why I like sitting there, just to make sure your officers are caught up, your research is caught up. It's not like level 29 is this special happy place that, you know, you are going to dominate the game, but it makes sure that you're getting things done before you reach higher milestones that make getting those things done more difficult. Does it slow you down? Sure, it does. But I guess it depends on what your goal is. My personal goal is not to be the highest level player in the game. You want to know honest answer why? Because that's not realistic without spending a ridiculous amount of money. So my goal is then not leveling up. Like every time I'm doing something, I'm at 46 right now. My goal right now is not to get to 50. My goal right now is to unlock a Coronar because that's what I want. And also my goal is to grind. One of the reasons y'all have been seeing me lately grind so much in capital systems, I want to free-to-play grind the Hydra and the Kelvin. I don't even want to use the Kelvin. It's just a goal I've set for myself. And then as I complete these goals, I'm also completing a bunch of research. I'm also completing a lot of leveling for my ships. And then naturally, I will just progress when I've run out of those things to do, that I've run out of milestones I want to set for myself. And you can set your own milestones. What you can be a player that your milestone is to level up and you want to be level 50. And that's completely okay. But I find most players are wanting to be efficient and be good at their level, and camping helps you do that. Camping helps you be efficient at your level without having to worry about running into all the walls. And a lot of our high levels who were here, like I saw Ordrin, I saw K92, Monkey I think was in the chat, I think Thief was maybe here earlier. All those high levels can tell you the only things you're going to find in high levels is designed paywalls. I am a firm believer in spending because you want to, not spending because you have to. And you will reach a point in this game, depending on what server you're on, depending on what level you are, where you have to spend to maintain a level of progression. If you don't want to have to spend, camping is a way that slows you down a little bit, allows you to complete stuff, and helps you prevent that. If you're okay with spending, cool. I'll show you the best packs to buy. One of the best packs to buy right now, helps out you and your team, is the web store Galactic Armada pack. Also, real quick, let me give a shout out to Robert. Robert, thank you for supporting my family. I'm adding it to the list up top. I appreciate the donation. It helps out tremendously. So, like, Mestry brings up camping for those cost efficiency research. It's a big reason for me. But again, that some advice is not for all people. And sometimes it's good to tailor it to your specific account. Am I getting sick? Dude, Traxton, where have you been? This is how my voice has been for like 3 days. I'm thinking about releasing an album where I sing blues and R&B music. Y'all let me know if y'all would buy my CD. Y'all let me know if CDs are even a thing anymore. You're trying to free to play a Valdor and a Vortivore? See, I think it's really fun. It doesn't make me special, but let me show you the progress I've made so far. So let's go to my survey. Just use the Hydra as an example. I'm 82 out of 150 on a Hydra. I've more than halfway free to play grinded, just hitting traders a free 4-star miner. You know how much that saved me in faction credits? That's huge. Let's go to the Interceptor. Look at the Kelvin. I'm 79 out of 150 on a Kelvin. Freaking exciting. Even the Newton, I've gotten 35 out of 350. I'm 10% of the way to a Newton. That's exciting to me. Like I get a level of pleasure and joy out of those type of accomplishments. And that might not be for everybody, but it is for me. So I'm excited about that. Need a massive ship to grind heavy traders? Well, I'm using an Enterprise, a Pylum, and a Valdor. That's what I'm currently using. I'm using 2 ships to grind the heavies and 1 ship to grind the regos. Do we know why Assimilated has its own set of research? I've been grinding hostiles in beta sector to get the maps to do the research. Seems to be pointless. Richard, just to give you an FYI, those researches were made specifically when this didn't exist yet, by the way, when this was like the in-game content for the time. Basically, they made this for the level 50 players before 5-star was created. And you have all these like Borg hostiles. You got the Borg big old cube in here and stuff. And I haven't even unlocked this mission, but I could go to Greg. It just takes a long time to get there. But that was the idea, is you were kind of, I hate to call it that, but it was basically like an in-game content type thing. It's a little pointless, but it is what it is. What tier's my Enterprise? Oh, this one's max. I've got 2 Enterprises, a tier 9 one and a tier 3 one. But it's more about the crews. My tier 3 Enterprise can kill regular transports at level 46, you know, because I'm level 46. Where's my hat today? Oh, this hat, Lucian, is Gengar. It's a Pokemon. I'm not sure if anybody here is a fan of Pokemon. Maybe your children are fans of Pokemon, but there you go. I'll make it a little bit bigger so you can see it. It's Gengar the Pokemon. The beard is getting thick, y'all. The beard has really come in. Like, I didn't know I could grow a beard like this, but this is, like, it's not going to be too long before I can braid it and then go, you know, raiding and pillaging with my Viking horde. So the beard is coming along. Anyway, let's get my big fat face off the screen. Watching your excitement when you open your drops after hitting traders is comical. I know it is, but at the same time, like, this is a wild concept, y'all. With my Viking horde, HORDE, you dirty-minded fool. Isn't that what a game's supposed to be though? Like, just some, you pick out something that's fun and you're excited to do it. What level do the superhighway missions start? It's 51, 50 or 51. If you want to start getting into the superhighways. I don't know if Lube or Stewie are here, but they actually did a stream yesterday about that. If y'all aren't aware, the officer tool, a tool that I highly recommend, I've been talking about it for years. The officer tool, Lube, actually streams on Twitch now. So if y'all haven't checked that out, you do need to be R&D 53 to finish. Thanks to Tib, point that out. Anyway, distraction. Lube does have a Twitch, so we have a lot of our content creators who are now streaming more often. So just an FYI, if y'all aren't aware, it's not just Rev. We've got myself, Ultimate DJ. We've got Black Half Dan, who now goes by Secure Plays. We've got Tiberius. We've got Dadbod Bearded Gaming. We've got Lube. We've got I'm trying to remember everybody off the top of my head. It always makes me feel bad because I forget people. We've got I've got a list, honestly. Let me just go look at the list just so I can give you just a whole slew of names who are now streaming. And I just think it's really great that we have so many people because you know what? Believe it or not, not everybody likes Rev Deuce. We got La Rooster. We got Lord Visit, who is a German streamer. We've got Guinea, who's another German streamer. We've got No One Shall. We've got Odo, who is based out of the UK. Got Truckin' Chick. We've got Queen Sweetie, who's a US streamer. Louis Pujols out of the US. Dr. Iron Chef. SFC Gamer. We got a whole list of people. So, yeah. It's Twitch. I've personally made a really big push to get more of us on Twitch because I think that more content creators for all of us is more fun and better. Yeah, there's a lot of us. If y'all want to check out Morbid John, thank you, Board Jock, another good name. I try to shout out everybody, but like it normally happens, I forget names, and I feel bad for forgetting names. My beard's looking extra fluffy today. Thank you, Atomic. I appreciate that. Hey, Sasquatch, I'm glad you're done driving. Please be safe. Tip, and it's not even about shouting out, though you can PayPal me that $20 here in a second. I'm just kidding. It's just I'm a firm believer that this is what makes a game great, and content creators help with the community, and that helps make things great. I love it. I love creating content for y'all. I love meeting y'all and talking to y'all. And hell, it was funny. I was yesterday. There was this guy in my Discord. And he kept putting poop emojis on all my videos. I'm like, hey, is everything okay? Like, are you just disliking the content? And he's like, yeah, I absolutely hate you. And I was like, oh, cool. Well, then why are you in my Discord? He's like, well, I'm in your Discord because it has really good information. And I was like, oh, great. So they're definitely, and he loves Ultimate DJ. And that's completely okay. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And I think the more content creators we have and the more that we have for that makes the game better. And because we have content creators, that's how, and official moderators and all these other volunteers, that's how we can go to the overlords and say, hey, we need a free-to-play drip on these primes, or hey, we need you to fix this issue with Strange New World La'an below deck ability reading wrong, which let me just go ahead and apologize. I really told y'all because I just felt like they wouldn't care enough to fix that anytime soon. They cared enough to fix it. I badmouthed Scopely, and even though it took months, they still fixed something that I honestly didn't think was on their radar. So shout out to Scopely. They fixed Strange New World on below decks. Now, for whatever reason, the article they actually posted didn't say that, but I showed y'all in a video yesterday that they fixed it. So shout out to Scopely for actually fixing something I didn't even think they were listening to. Shout out to them. I appreciate that. That's a good thing. So that's something I'm going to give Scopely a thumbs up on. I'm happy about that. It was easy enough so they can put some fixing on the list, maybe. There was even broken for you. It might have, Adam, it was probably, but you probably didn't ever notice it. But I promise you it was, because it's broken for everybody. You might just never have used it or noticed. Fixing the North Star mining health bonus. Hell, that actually works. It's another display issue, John. But that one's kind of been going on for 4 years. That one's actually been a problem since the North Star came out. Oh, you didn't do the research the problem was linked to. Ah, so you're just lazy in the game. Got it, Adam. Got it. It wasn't just Lon. It's true. It was Lon. It was Barkley. It was multiple below deck abilities that were wrong. But this fixed all of it. And hell, I'll be honest, I didn't even know that was the problem. And I'm glad they found the problem and fixed it. Hey, we stand laziness, Adam. Like, I'm a millennial. My goal is to find the most efficient way to do something, not because I think efficient makes me better. Y'all want to know the honest reason that Rev wants to be efficient? Because I'm lazy. Rev doesn't want to be efficient because it makes him better than you. Rev wants to be efficient because he's lazy, and I don't want to take all that time. That's why I want to be efficient. I haven't seen an expansion crew video. Have you made one? I've not. To be honest, I don't like expansion cubes. In terms of crewing them, standard PvP crews apply. The real key to expansion cubes is having a level Talios for its massive, awesome bonus. You know, but I've not made a video because I just hate the mechanic. I hate that I have to go hit one Armada to hit another. It really annoys me. So I've not personally made one. Some of our other content creators may have. I don't know if Tiberius or Rooster or somebody else has. And you know what? Maybe I probably should, but I've not done it. Not done it. Rev, is the Klingon Translate Disruptor not working for Borg Armadas because it didn't show the bonus damage in battle logs? It does work. It doesn't like pop up as an ability, but it does work. I've used it multiple times. Are you seeing a ship that it's not working on? And we can kind of like look into that. You did a few expansion cubes today. Expansion cubes aren't difficult. I just hate the mechanic. That's a personal Rev thing. That's a personal Rev thing. That's a Rev thing. So, yeah, no problem, Joe. I'm happy to give as much information as I can and try to do it as accurately as possible. If you're on the Borders, it shows me doing 100,000 damage when lower level Vidars are doing millions. I would need to see the log atomic and really kind of try to break it down and just take a look. Do keep in mind that the Vidar already has the bonus. Like, the Vidar's bonus is built in, but you should be getting a better bonus than that. But we would need to look at some logs. So I'll try to hook up with me later on Discord. If y'all haven't joined the Discord, join the Discord. Again, this is one of the reasons I talk about it. Or if y'all don't use Discord, let me post this again. And look, I've been much better about doing my Facebook lately. I do have a Facebook page that you can message privately to talk directly to me if you need help. So go and check out the Facebook page if you'd rather talk there. I know not everybody uses Discord, so I'm really made an effort over the past month, especially, to be more responsive there. So if you want to check that out, maybe you feel like Discord responses are too slow and everything, check it out. Let's see. I don't want to miss any questions. Let's see. Under the Blood. Star Trek fans are extremely passionate and loyal. Agreed. Scopa takes advantage of that passion and loyalty, knowing they can put out garbage and people still pay for it. Hashtag fix the game. I don't necessarily think anything you said was wrong, but I also, and I promise I'm not trying to sound like a complete butt here, but you also described who part of the problem is, and part of the problem is us as the community. What I mean by that is, you know, Scopely only charges and makes these things because we keep buying. At what point do we stop putting 100% of the blame on Scopely and start putting some of the blame on ourselves? You know, it's why, like I've said, out of principle, I will not personally buy these new primes. They are amazing in terms of what they do for your game. They truly are. But out of principle, I will not buy them because there's no free-to-play path. They invalidated previous primes that literally just came out 2 months ago. And you just don't have, in my opinion, a good strategy when you charge $600 for a singular prime. If there was a free-to-play path, I would not bug as much about the monetary side of things. So out of principle, no matter how good they are, and they are freaking amazing, they are. And I tried to show that and give an unbiased view of them before I dropped my video and then added my opinion on the back of it. They are fantastic value. But until they actually have some of those issues fixed, just out of principle, I won't support them. And that's just my personal decision. So yes, do I think that Scopely really like squeezes blood from a stone and, you know, from a turnip or whatever the stupid phrase is? Do I also think that players as a whole are partly to blame? 100%. And we can't just say whales either, okay? Because there's a lot more spinners in this game than people seem to realize. And it's the light spinners. It's the people who are like, hey, I won't spend 600, but I'll spend 100. And they went ahead and invested in the first 5 levels. It's all of us to an extent. So we have to make adjustments to that before we can really expect Scopely to make adjustments. That's just being honest. Do you know there's not going to be a free to play path? What do you mean, MI5? I feel like that's an incomplete sentence. Simon says, can we get rid of Vidar Exos from Borxillo chest? Good on Vidar, but when you get Talios, they start to build up. I mean, I doubt they're going to do that, but I mean, I understand where you're coming from. It does kind of not make sense to still be collecting them once you've got a Talios. So that does make sense. Real quick, I give a shout out to Virtual Army. Dude, Virtual, thank you. They just donated to the Feed the Children Fund. So appreciate you, boss man. This helps out tremendously. And I really, really do appreciate that. The new primes are a clear message to the free-to-play players. You'll no longer be able to be competitive. And see, Finney, again, I 100% agree, which is why I think that you have to provide a free-to-play path. And if they do that, then the tune that I'm here singing changes drastically. It truly does. If they really provide some form of path, then I won't, even if that path takes a year or two. Because we are talking about 10 levels. If it was a singular prime, I would not be talking about a year or two. Since it's 10 levels, if that takes a year or two, that's completely okay. But if you never make that adjustment, then you definitely are just giving a big screw you to everybody who's not willing to invest a significant amount of money. And I just want to be very, very honest. We are talking about a significant amount of money in terms of what Rev views as a lot of money. Y'all might be in a different financial position than Rev, and that's okay. What I'm about to say is not shaming you, but I literally cannot afford to spend $1,200. I have 3 children. I cannot afford to spend $1,200 on primes in Star Trek Fleet Command. Can I afford to buy a battle pass? Yes. Can I afford to buy a $100 pack? Honestly, yeah, I can. Now, there are some months that I don't, but I do try to budget for that. But I cannot afford to drop $1,200. That would basically be taking my entire year's business budget for this game and dropping it all in one day. I can't afford that. So because of that, I think if you want to make sure that this game stays a semblance of balanced, I understand that it is not quote unquote balanced, but if you want to have some form of that balance, then you've got to make adjustment here. So have been any announcement about when players can source 6-star maps through Refinery? Probably when G6 actually launches, which has not been yet. But you're probably not going to see that Refinery until we actually have G6 launch. The Battle Pass and Flash Pass are reasonable. It depends on the person. Like, there are people out there, which is why I'm trying to say this in the least shaming way possible, because I'm not trying to shame anybody. I know players, and their income allows them to spend $5,000 a month, and it doesn't hurt them at all. Like, they are completely okay in real life. We're not, you know, people in the past have like tried to make fun of spinners, like, oh, they're just people maxing out credit cards, living in basements. No, like the people that play this game, you gotta remember, are the demographic. We're 35 to 55-year-olds mostly. Stable jobs. There's lots of CEOs here. There's lots of business owners. I mean, there are people who can afford to spend $5K a month and it doesn't hurt. So My gripe with Scopely new primes is they often grow base. Base percentage growth is diminishing returns. Currently, every 3% material efficiency knocks off one material needed. Yeah, Magic, there's definitely a diminishing return. And I try to provide that caveat to everybody who's asking me about purchases. And that's also one of the reasons that I had, when I spoke out against these new primes is they invalidated something from 2 months ago. My argument about them invalidating something from 2 months ago would not, in my opinion, be accurate if this is, the primes I'm talking about, I'll show you which ones I'm talking about. I'm talking about the ones that just came out in the export faction tree, which was like 6 weeks ago. The G4 Parts Prime and the G5. If these had come out 8 months ago, I really wouldn't be talking too much about diminishing return and loss of value because the game grows, economy grows, efficiencies grow. Power creep's a problem. But this was 6 weeks ago. $100 buys you a 50% bonus. You wanna know what that same $100 does for you if you're like my level on these new primes? It buys me 140% bonus. So the same amount of money gives me 3 times better performance than something that literally just came out 6 weeks ago. And to me, that's bad design. So anyway, that's why I'm like really just continually beating this horse to death ad nauseum about finding a path for these, because it's more than just a Rev griping because Rev don't have $1,200. I just feel like this is a very imbalanced approach that they went after. So we'll push the Scopely to decide merge servers. My servers had war kickoff that involves number 1, that's 2 through 5. A lot of people are quitting because of it. There's several things that go into mergers: server age, overall population, daily active users. A lot of things go into what a server needs to qualify for a merge. Activities down is getting a little bit boring because the community aspect is lacking because of the war. It definitely depends on the war, Kia, because on server 20, the war is what's kept everybody so active. Like, that's actually propelled server 20 to being one of the more active servers in the game, because it gives people something to do even when Scopely provides a really crappy game. But there are months that the game just sucks, but we've always got the war to give us something to do. So how many shard maxed officers should you have before leaving 25? I mean, in a dream world, you would hopefully have unlocked at least a couple rare officers in terms of maxing them. So that's in a dream world. It doesn't have to be that way, but it's in a dream world. Let me read this real quick. So Dominic donates to the channel and says, I would like to say thank you for all the help with the game. I'm about to leave the game as these last 2 primes broke the game beyond repair. Good luck in the future. I will say this, Dominic, if you're still listening, I don't think that they're beyond repair. Do I think that this is a massive issue? Yes. Do I think it's broken beyond repair? No. I do think this can be saved, and the biggest way to save it is a free-to-play path. That saves this. And I believe earnestly this is possible. I've already had a couple of conversations with Scopely. Now, have I had a conversation with everybody in Scopely who's making decisions and I can guarantee this is happening? Absolutely not. But I've already had conversations. I can tell you that that door is open. Like, it is a possibility to make this into a realistic thing. So I don't believe the door is closed, but I do agree with you that this is game breaking in a bad way and that it needs to be adjusted. And I think that they've seen the reaction and know that something has to be done as well. We'll see what that ends up looking like. But just saying, I don't think you need to quit the game. I think what I would prefer people's response be is to fight back and give opinion, not just quit. Have they indicated they're willing to talk to you about the issue? Well, Boardjock, as I just said, I'm already talking to some about the issue. The key is talking to more about the issue, because the more people that can, get behind the paradigm that I'm trying to come with, the more chance you have of this being a thing. So the thing is, they're willing to talk. Even to Rev, who goes off on tangents and gets really mad. So if they're willing to talk, then that means hope isn't lost. Now, if they optimally decide, or at the end of the day, they decide, hey, we're not going to do anything, then yeah, I'm pretty pissed. But it seems to be that the table is there, the door is open for the conversation to be had. I will be honest with you, One thing that will probably likely influence whether this happens or not is how angry, frustrated, etc. players stay. If in 2 weeks from now players have just accepted it, they roll over and don't care anymore, then what real incentive does Scopely have to fix this? If players stay frustrated and players still demand a fix months later or weeks later or days later, then you kind of have no choice. You've got to address the big problem in the community that's causing players to, like Dominic, leave. So we've seen in the past when stuff like this happens, they listen. We've seen this happen in the past and they listen. I'm not saying I'm okay with Scopely making just what I call dumb decisions, but they happen. And if we can find a way to walk it back, then we walk it back. So that's going to be my goal. That's what I'm going to try for. That's what I'm going to try for. Oh, sorry. My voice is kind of getting rough. How many Voluntaurus shards do we have at this time? I can tell you how many I have, and I haven't even bought the Battle Pass yet. So I can tell you how many I have. I am sitting on wrong button, and I haven't bought a pack or anything like that. So all my Voluntaurus have been naturally sourced. I'm at 22 out of 34. That's where I'm at. I'm at 22 out of 34. Mihai says they're at 24. Tiberius is a whale. So he's got 33. How did y'all get 33? What started the war on your server? That was literally 3-something years ago, Matthew. Shortest way to say is animosity between how things need to be run and personal grievances. Okay, there's a lot of y'all with 32 and 33. Is it because y'all got the battle pass? That would make sense. Because there's 6 right there. There's another 3, so that's 9. Y'all got the battle pass. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Y'all got the battle pass. So, battle pass and full participation, you're right at unlocking. Which I'm pretty sure this month, if you want to fully unlock Blana, I think you do need full participation plus the elite battle pass, but I would need to ask the Arc Runner again. I need to double check on that. My way is the highway. I mean, honestly, this is just normal for everywhere. Like, most servers go through the same growing pains. I've just noticed that. And how you as a server address those pains determines what ends up happening to your server long term. In my experience, server wars don't have to kill you. Server wars can make you stronger. And that's happened to multiple servers I've played on. Now, do I recommend that you have a 3-year-long server war like 20? No, not at all. I actually think that wars are best when they last 2 to 3 weeks. But I do think that conflict is important, because conflict engages your community. Conflict makes sure that your players have a distraction when months are bad. I think conflict can be a good thing, but obviously there are ways that conflict can also be bad. Let's see if we get any Hydra BPs again. Please, please, please. Oh, what a good pull. Only 60 chests and I got 3 of each. Oh, man. That's a nice pull for like 65 chests. 3 Kelvin, 3 Hydra, 3 Newton. 9 4-star BPs and 60 chests is good. 2 days ago, it wasn't on stream, but I pulled 100 chests and I got 2 Kelvin shards. That was it. I was like, damn, that's awful. But and thank you for the congratulations on the Anteri shard. I really needed it. John says, have you touched on how these new primes make the value of scrapping 26, 28, 32s, 67 go like crazy? Yeah, I have. Yeah, we actually talked about that a little bit ago, John. We talked about it a little bit ago. You at 85 out of 135? Here, let's pull it back up. I've officially blown up all the boats that we were using. So I am 85 out of 150 on the Hydra. On the Kelvin, I am now 82, 150. And on the Newton, I'm 38, 350. Oh, it's for Draco. Well, damn it. Hey, Draco, I love you. You suck. How you doing? Wait, Draco's here? I didn't even see Draco talk. I saw Guru. Hey, Guru. Draco, you suck. Love you, buddy. Appreciate you being here. The problem is the extreme power creep, what makes years of playing / grinding obsolete. Strike team and now these primes. How much time do people spend to grind tiny efficiencies? All the new holes. Look, You're not going to have any argument from me, YT. I don't want to say this like in a proud way, but I was definitely the first content creator really speaking out against the problems of power creep and where we were going. So I've been on that for a long time, and I agree with you. But I also can't adjust what's already there. I can only fight for how things are now, and then try to make, feedback that leads to adjustments later on. So, are they ever going to fix the display on officers and even loot not showing the correct amount you currently have? What are you talking about, Steven, specifically? Because we just have a fix yesterday that fixed that, depending on what you're talking about. Does the new primes make scrapping 42 uncommons more viable? To an extent, yes. I was talking, I don't remember if it was K92 or who I was talking to this about in Discord, but I have actually been mathing out. If y'all remember, I did the 3-star scrapping map. I'm doing the same thing for 4-star. The difference with 4-star is, hey Obi, how you doing? The difference with 4-star scrapping is, in terms of efficiency, you don't want to max them out because they start taking epics, but they don't really translate that. So then you're talking about tier 7 to tier 9 being like kind of the max you would take a G4. And then the payouts are really about what are you getting in terms of ship parts, because what you're getting G4 to G5 uncommons and stuff is not good. But I am working on a similar spreadsheet that'll come out at some point. But mathematically it helps. It's still not good. Still not good. Will you show what crews you use for Borg models? Ryan, I have a whole video out. So instead of me trying to redo all my crews real quick, because I'm currently loaded out for grinding, if you go check out my Borg solo video, all my crews are there. The only difference is I don't think I had Bashir yet in that video, and I used Bashir on my 3rd ship. But yeah. Can you help with spreadsheets? Jules, if you want to jump in with me and do that, you can. Jules, just shoot me a message. I don't know if you remember the last one. Myself and John Connor worked on it. This is going to be the same idea with the G4 one. But I would love the new one to be very kind of similar to what you've been working on, Jules. I'd love the new one to be able to include the efficiency researches to where we could actually adjust the table to where if you click this research, bam, it shows you what your cost and your efficiency is. So should we just call this month Armada and Mining instead of Voyager? I mean, Sean, with that type of negative outlook, that's the entire game, and I'm not going to do that. I don't like being negative like that, because I like Armadas, and I don't mind hostile grinding. Hell, the past hour, I've been hostile grinding and getting excited about it because of the loot that's dropping. That's just what this game is. And honestly, that's almost every MMO. Every MMO is you spend countless hours grinding for something that has no intrinsic value. So I'm okay with that because that's what these games are. I know that I'm going to dump a ton of time into doing stuff, and I enjoy it. It's almost cathartic. That might be stupid to a lot of people, but that's okay. I mean, how many hundreds of hours have people wasted farming pointless stuff in World of Warcraft? But we enjoy it. So. Be positive, not only my philosophy, also my blood type. Nice, Clay. Nice. That's a good dad joke. I like that one. So, and again, I'm not trying to call you out, Sean. I'm just being honest. Like, I'm okay with Armadas. Some Armadas are bad. Some Armadas are good. But I'm okay with grinding. And I'm okay with that. That's fine with me. Because I'm used to these games. That's what they are. Sorry about that, y'all. Spent dozens of hours running the same dungeons over and over to try to pick up one piece of loot to drop. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Skinning and selling light leather in the auction house was good gold returns back in the day. I've never even played World of Warcraft. That came out kind of before my time. Also, just now noticed that the research button's there in the X-Borg. That's actually really handy. That there's an X-Borg research button in the X-Borg refinery or in the X-Borg faction store. That's really useful. It's just the 0 days break, lat rush, etc. Well, Sean, again, you can kind of partly blame me for that. I am a strong believer that a full calendar is better than an empty one, and that you have a choice as a player to do or not do something. And I really try to stress, you do not need to do everything, but it is better for the game to provide something to do every single day than to have nothing. and then you can make the choice on whether you want to do that right now or not. That's my belief. That's my belief. Actually, Board Jock, somebody actually got me some tea that helped. I just don't have that tea up right now. But I've been going through cough drops, tea, etc. Diablo 3, I'm already 658 seasonal grinding in the game. Yeah, Sean, I think I'm Paragon 20 or something from the last stream. Where are my hauls? I actually have... I did them all. I need to get more. So, you recommend going to 1 bill reputation house 46? You need a level 50 hostiles, I guess. You can. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that. I don't think it's a requirement. I think where I would say the requirement is that you really want to be 1 bill locked and working on, in my opinion, dual 1 bill locked is at least by level 50 and at level 50. But kind of from that point is, you know, you make the decision as to when and where. I don't think it's a requirement. Will it help you out? Assuredly, yes. Definitely. Yay, all the stuff. Yay, all the stuff. Let's scroll down. Do I have anything here I want to pick up? I don't have enough for that. All right, y'all get to... We're going to play the game of pick Rev's favor. Y'all see what's available. Chat, which one should I go after? If you play WoW, in my opinion, you would play a Paladin. Possibly. When I played Warcraft 3, which I love, it's one of my favorite games growing up, I love using the Paladins. They were a little OP. Tetrion's? Tetrion's like the worst one, Ordrin. Ordrin, you're going to pay a timeout fee again. We're going to make Ordrin pay a timeout fee. No, definitely not Tetrion. That's a waste. That's wasting. Officer training, I'm down for that. Prophet's Prize, I'm down for that. I'm down for both of those. Try locked at 1 bill before 52 so you can power level to 1.1 to get the Nova easier. And see, Andy, that's, if you remember my camping at 49 video, that was part of my thought. The extra Armada loot one. Okay. Here, I'll just drop this so y'all can see some of those. So there's Prophet's Prize right there. So lots of votes for this one, it seems. Kira's Fist. You like Kira's Fist? Kira's Fist is okay. It's not up there. It's down here. Kira's Fist is right here. It's just a base piercing boost. It's not super useful. I mean, it's okay. I wouldn't say it has super value. Construction's a good one, too. Construction's a good one as well, Roboski. I would say that the officer training drills, I don't really need. But you always need more officer stats. There's nothing wrong with ever more stats, but... Prophet's Prize, because less grinding equals good. Logical. But so, FYI, when I do Prophet's Prize, I do the same thing that I was just doing in Soul. I go out with 3 ships, and I put like 30, 40,000 loot on each one, and I come home and I don't pull for days. So, I don't know if y'all's strategy is the same. What about legacy character stacking and officer slots? No, thank you. No, thank you. All right, so I probably would not have picked this one, but I'm going to go with Prophet's Prize because chat has chosen it. So click. I think technically we'll be able to afford one more if y'all want like one of the baby ones. Stubborn Defense. Where is Stubborn Defense? Oh, right here. That's it decreases opponent's critical chance. I don't want the Tetrion one though. This doesn't do anything. All it does is lift your maximum Tetrion storage. It's so crap. I mean, it just lifts my Tetrion storage for something that I barely ever use. I'd never even use cloaking. Don't you wait for research events to pull those? Hell no, Guru. Hell no. All right, fine. Because Earth and Ordrin both have paid to support this channel, I'll do it. But I don't like it. I don't like it. But they've both paid to support this channel, so I guess I have to heed to them. So let me go pull my Tetrions now. Surprised you didn't do officer training with your emphasis on officers? Well, officers are important, but I also, I come into this one, you know, con 235, 147. This guy needs to be leveled up. But I mean, I've got stats. Like I can max out my pylum stats with 3 officers below deck. So it is important, yes, but it depends on, you know, where you're at with your account. And since there's so many different things, like you were just talking about the mess hall, or somebody just mentioned the mess hall, I think it was Sugar Fat Man. I mean, look at the bonus this has. This is currently giving me a 189% officer stat bonus. I mean, there's just some things that have, I don't want to use the word invalidate, but it's a lot easier to get stats now than it used to be. I'll put it that way. A lot more than it used to be. Which officer just makes you smile when you load them up knowing the good things it'll do for you? Miles. In fact, I have one boat that never stops being an Armada boat, and it's this slot. And I haven't maxed him out level-wise because I'm waiting for an event. He is maxed here, though. Miles O'Brien, 50% chance of increasing shots against an Armada, 100%. Woof. This one's the one that just gets me like all up and giddy. I love it. Another one, keep in mind it's only hostiles. Hugh. Oh my goodness, does Hugh not get me excited? Woof. Hugh gets me super excited. Eddie the free 5th dock opens at level 39. Level 39 for the free one. So, as a pure free-to-play power, the power creep helps. It does help free-to-play John, but at the same time, keep in mind that it helps everybody else too. You know, but it's like we were talking about, you know, it's my auger is 10.4 million. I mean, 10 mil augers and 10 mil enterprises used to be something that only high levels ever had, like really high levels. You making an update video for camping at 39? I mean, I will be at some point, Eric. I don't know when that is. I mean, I'm still big on, again, milestones and setting, you know, realistic goals for yourself, and camping helps you accomplish a lot of those. And I think it makes you for a happier player in the game. But it's something that I usually would do, like that type of content I would do between arcs. And right now we're in the middle of the arc. So when am I going to get this? Wait, I can get this leveled up. I need like, I want more levels of that. I want more levels of this. And ship abilities, where is, where's the Valdor? Valdor Assault. Armory 42. Where's my armory at? 35 going to 36. All right, I still got a while. That's another thing that, by the way, needs some form of path. You have no way to get the rare and epic, no way at all to get the rare and epic ship abilities like this. There's no way to get those without purchasing them. You get the uncommons for free when you hit the certain levels. You got to buy the epics and rares. Then it'd be a long form path for that. So many things. All right, let me check my refineries real quick before I forget about them. No, he's very higher tiers, but the doc perform out of the box. Yeah, he does. I mean, again, how many slots do you have? Are you able to actually relatively, you know, easily fit him into your runs? He gives me more rep. I'm using him for more rep, but I'm also throwing it on a ship like the Enterprise where he's kind of like an afterthought because I easily get all of my bonuses. So, but yeah, I have value in the Doctor, and I like that. I went after him hardcore in the leaderboard. I love that I have him, but yeah, I mean, he's not game breaking in a positive way at level 1, but he still helps. It just comes down to your officer slots. Like if it's to the point where you're losing too many, you're not getting enough fights in to counteract the bonus, it's not really worth it. But if you're able to get all your officer bonuses in below decks and you're using Tindy and all these other things, that works out. Anything, and I'm a big proponent of more is more, right? So if he gives you more, then we celebrate that he gives you more. That was actually a decent pull I just quickly bypassed there. So I'll celebrate more. I think we need more weapon projectile free-to-play pass and not just in event stores. Maybe loony, but at this point, those are basically all cosmetics anyway, though. So, like, I'm not really fretting personally too much over those. Are cosmetics at this point. You're talking about those having like 10% bonuses and 5% bonuses. That is not doing anything in the grand scheme of the game. It's whatever. If you want them, go for them. But to me, those are a little more than cosmetics at this point. You just pull all these. And you see, I love that my biominerals matters now thanks to the board research. Love that it matters now. All right, let's do mid pull. Ooh, got 3, 4 of 11s. I'll take that. And I think I need to go, I need to go grind that today. Let's come down here. We need to go grind this as well. All right, so we'll swap this out real quick. I'm gonna go put towel on this. Actually, what I'm going to do before I do that is go find Strange New World La'an. I'm gonna steal you. I'm actually going to swap you for that. Then let's go get Giorgio and Tao. Go. I'm gonna lose some officer bonus doing all this, but it's gonna give me as most Actians as possible. That's all I really care about. Here is my Actian grinding crew. You see, I'm still getting almost my full bonuses, as well as extra whole health. So I'm gonna go do those real quick. Yo, thank you for dropping the links, Hugo. I really appreciate it. If y'all do want to support the channel, pick up some merch or hit the donate button. Either one helps out a lot. I'm happy to answer any of y'all questions for Star Trek and other games of the kind. I appreciate y'all always giving me a little bit of love and support. It means a lot. Thank you. Thank you. Acting grind crew, where's Galinar? Where's Doctor? Doctor doesn't do anything for me for acting and grinding, and Galinar would help, but I don't really care. Because I'm going to fly through these with the pilot. They thought about using the Talios for Actian. My Talios isn't strong enough to do that. My Talios is only like tier 4. Maybe if it was bigger. Maybe if it was bigger. Doctor works against Actians? I mean, yeah. I'm not saying he doesn't. Just I would be sacrificing all my lower deck spots. Keep in mind that I've got a tier 1 Doctor, and I've already got 5 of 11 as captain. 5 of 11 is doing better than the Doctor would do. Hank, thank you for gifting out a membership. I appreciate that. Level 52, what's better? Pike, Moreau, Stranger World, or Stranger World Full Synergy? Stranger World Full Synergy. Brian, congrats. You're now all 8 member thanks to Hank. Hank, I appreciate you being so generous, man. That means a lot. Thank you. Thank you, Hank. You have no 5? How do you not have 5, Traxton? We got to get you 5. We got to get you 5. Yeah, if I was going to have one, I would have Galinar before the Doctor for this, but I'm more trying to get the Tindy to make sure my whole health's there. And I wanted Stranger World La'an to get Marcago, and I get 224,000. How's it fair when they change the event from one week to the next? Joseph, I think that's just one of those things you're not going to make everybody happy, because the change was made based on player feedback. Players wanted it improved and made better. So the Arc Runner listened and did it. And, you know, I get it that people don't like it if they participate in the first one, but it's also been a pretty consistent thing in past few months where they've adjusted events mid-arc based on what players were saying. So I don't know. Maybe I'm shilling here and taking Scopely's side, but they literally did it because players asked them to. So level 52 hostiles? No, I got what you meant, Brandon. Strange New Worlds. I don't know what your tiers are. But Strange New Worlds are the meta. Like that's what you're supposed to be using for 52 plus hostiles. Now, if you've got all tier 1s and like your Newton is like getting creamed by the Belosians, then maybe you're not able to stack enough of the stats you need to guarantee you're getting your mitigation and stuff. But full Strange New Worlds is what you probably should be using. Like if you're trying to hit a 53 Belosian or something. For those that don't know what I'm talking about, that's the deep space hostiles. And to point, John is right. Depends on which hostile we're talking about here. There's a lot of different hostiles in the game. And it's a good thing and I think kind of a bad thing. The good thing is you have a little bit of parity there. Like you can't just give end-all be-all answers anymore, where now you do have to be specific. What hostile are you talking about? Whereas back in the day, it was just like, oh, just run Pipe Road Chen or Pipe Road Talon. You're good. Now we do kind of have to customize them a little bit, but as a player, I think that's really good. As a content creator, it's semi-annoying because it makes it really difficult to give y'all as much info as I'd like to give. But as a player, I love it. I think that's how things should be. Like it should have decisions that you need to make and paths you need to go and milestones to accomplish. Those are all good things to me. Those are all good things. I think that is good. We need the game to continue to have that type of thing. Mihai, thank you. Mihai also just donated to support the channel. Greatly appreciate you, man. This helps out, again, tremendously. I know I say this all the time, but it does. I've added to the screen up top. Really appreciate y'all. So, if you're doing 52 freebooters and use Strange New World Officer GG Towel, see, I don't even have to do that, John. I just use my full Strange New Worlds and I do perfectly okay. Just a reminder, y'all, I will be live streaming again tonight on Twitch. We're also, if y'all remind me, we will watch together. We will watch the Strange New World Season 2 trailer. I think that could be a lot of fun to watch together. So if y'all want to come be a part of that, come jump in and do that. That'd be cool. Everybody's welcome. I do need to go turn on those dailies. I bet I haven't turned on those dailies, have I? I did not. See? I almost forget to do these every day. And then there's something that happens. I remember to go turn them on after I've already like repaired my pylon twice. All right, Sean, have a great day. And thank you for hanging out in the stream. I appreciate it. It's always good to see the community. Always great. All right, let's see. Which part does Rev want to upgrade today? Not the cargo. How about one of the weapons? Oh, no, that costs crystal. We're saving all crystal expenditures for next big issues. Let's see. That's a 7, and that's... Ooh. All right, so that is superior. I like how it's just called Mark 5. Doesn't even tell you what... I mean, it's obviously the engines, but why can't you actually say Mark 5 Impulse? So, yeah, we're going to go with that. That was nice. Nice little boost. And we'll send it on here. Oh, Capkey, I appreciate you. Do you think with the free Netflix password sharing coming to an end, do you think your nighttime streaming quality will improve? God, I hope so, AM. That would be fantastic. Oh, I hope so. That would be absolutely awesome. But technically, it's not coming to an end. They're just going to start charging you for it, which, hey, maybe that money they can actually pay those writers to make good shows instead of being butts. We'll see. So, I forget every week to get in the leaderboard for the Stella skin. Same. Can somebody send me a message at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow to remind me to click yes on that leaderboard? Will somebody remind me for that, please? I greatly appreciate you. I would greatly appreciate that. What about asteroid systems and territory where big ships get damaged for being there too long? Huh? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Prevents G5 ships from crushing everyone who's playing for free during TC. You've already got things you can do. Burn them. Burn them. Burn them. Use your mantis, sting them, and then smash them with the Rialta and burning over and over. Give them a nice big juicy repair bill. Tell them to stop camping you. I'll go to this regular SLB event on upgrading treasury using optical diodes, but past 1 year I haven't seen that anymore. Will they be reintroduced? Not that I'm aware of. I hope you haven't been saving treasury diodes this entire time. I've been telling people to use them for months. Is the Delta Flyer worth it? The Delta Flyer is not in the game. So, have the skin so that SLB feels useless. I don't have the assimilated Stella skin. Technically, I don't have the Opus Grande skin either, but I don't have either skin, so it feels good for me once I actually get it. So, whew, my voice kind of going out. You have both skins? Nice, Fenris. I'm a little bit jealous of that. By the way, if you are watching, if you want to help out the channel, hit that like button. It helps out tremendously. Believe it or not, YouTube tracks 3 analytics for every video. A little FYI for you. The 3 things that they track is 1, your view, which is what you're doing right now. 2, your comment, which you can leave comments on every video. It helps out tremendously. And 3, a like. There are 3 types of reactions you can give that help a video for any content creator on YouTube. Those are the 3. So if y'all could help out, it'd be really appreciated. I should have had the assimilated Stella skin last week, but we were at war and they kept blowing up our exchange armadas. That's the thing here. Like we have to fight through that all the time. So any idea if and when we'll get more Picard charge made available? No idea, Miki. I'm sorry. That's something that we've been asking since the Next Generation came out a year and a half ago. Regular sourcing for that is definitely needed. So I wish I had an answer for you. I prefer to give answers instead of I don't knows, but I really don't for that one. I don't even know the logic of why, even to this day, it's still a struggle to get him. I'm sure there's some scopely reason for it, some back end reason, but I don't know what it is. Hey Jack, how you doing? Good to see you. You have Picard unlocked, but tier 2 is a long way away. I have him, but what tier is he? I don't even remember. Tier 1. I am wow. I'm 51 shards away from tier 2. So I got him, but he ain't exactly big and bold. What happened to all the Picard / Bever SLBs that randomly dropped every couple months? I mean, those are just random ones that they'll do between arcs. I mean, that might come again. We'll see. Data has terrible sourcing. 5 has semi-decent sourcing. And Picard has no sourcing. Bad. You get paid for YouTube premium watch time? Technically, yes, Guru. I don't understand exactly how the formula works as well as regular ad revenue, but there's a line, like if I go to my analytics, it says YouTube premium payments, and it's not much, but I do get something. Keep in mind that you don't get a ton on YouTube videos, so every little bit helps. It's one of the reasons that, you know, donations and merch helps, because YouTube and Twitch neither pay great ad revenue. FYI. Data ATA is decent if you spend the trade XP. Yeah, but hell, I haven't even done that. I have so many other missions that are more important to me, and it's just so rare to come up. Like right now, I bet it's not there. Well, screw you, Scopely. Here it is. But screw you, Scopely. Making me look like a dum-dum. See, they're like, there's Geordie LaForge who would help, and I've got Carol, but I need Thief and Rogue. Yeah, so Mud. So Geordie and Mud are the 2 here, and I haven't invested in them. And honestly, screw you, Scopely. Making me look stupid. Screw you. I hate Scopely. Look at them. Look at this. This is rigged. This was rigged. See, I haven't invested in these at all. Could. How much do I have for Mud to invest in? All right, so I haven't even touched that yet. I've got 200,000. And then Geordie, adaptable and physicist, so I bet are his 2nd and 3rd. Yep. See, I have to get all the way through engineer and then start touching these. So I could do it. Should I do it? Yeah, y'all got me thinking. I hate y'all so much. Why does chat want me to? Chat wants me to do all these things. I've never have over 30% crit with data mission. Always seem to get the shards though. You know you want to. No, I don't, John. You don't know me. All right, fine. We'll do a little bit. Fine. Can't stand y'all. All right. We'll get you up to 4. Let's go do the same thing with Mud. take you up to 6. And we'll take Jordy up to 6. I can't stand y'all. Hope y'all know I can't stand any of y'all. I can't stand any, none of y'all. Can't stand you. All right, 77%. I promise to God. I'm going to speed this up. Watch. Watch, I don't even critical. I'm going to throw a fit. I'm going to throw a fit. Watch. You know what, Scopely? I'm pissed off still. I hate this game. I hate this game. I promise to God I'll get this like 10 more times and not get a damn crit. I hate it. Oh my God. I got burned on this time. I hate burning. Oh man. Yeah, let's put mud up here. No, let's just keep burning through things. Let's just keep doing it. What's going to happen? Mastermind. I haven't invested in those, and I'm not going to. I'm almost out of stuff. So 25%. Yeah, just put weighing up there. We're going to speed through it again. Don't hate the game, hate the devs. Love that. Yes, love that. All right, let's blow through. How much we got? Bam. Bet this one doesn't critical. Ah, there we go. No critical. There. Yeah, that's what we like to see. No criticals. What am I even saying? Okay. So, well, Rev is officially able to do the data one. 77%. So I guess y'all will be getting a data video soon, and we'll see how that goes. Good t-shirt. Don't hate the game, hate the devs. Finish, remind me, and I can try to design something later. Man, we have an ATA event this week. Cool. But look, guys, I've had a great time. We've gone about almost 2 full hours. My voice is getting shot if y'all can't hear. So I'm going to wrap up for the day. But I will be on Discord. I'll be on Facebook. If y'all have not joined the Facebook page, come check us out. That way you can talk to me directly if you need any help, tips, tricks, etc. for this game and any other game we played. Check us out on Twitch tonight, because I will be streaming again in roughly 5 hours, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you haven't joined Twitch, come join it. It's basically YouTube with a little bit extra flair to it. And come check out the Facebook page if you need some help. I'm more than happy to help you out. Just click on the RD Power Gaming, hit the like button, and yeah, we'll be there for you. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for watching. Thank you for those who donate. Thank you for those who hit the like button. Thank you for everybody. Y'all have been fantastic. And that's all I can really say. I appreciate y'all and hope y'all have a great time. And I hope the game is better when we hang out together and do stuff like this. It's better for me. Hopefully it's better for you. Live long and prosper. Stay safe for the Space Cowboys. Deuces, that's me. Catch you on the next stream. Later tonight. Bye.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.